Hey everybody, welcome to American Court. Here's Judge Stephanie Boyd's YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Here's some videos from today.
Court is calling 2024 CR 5800 State versus Jason Montes. Hello. Could I have parties announced?
Ed Connell for the defendant, Mr. Montes.
All right, everyone, make sure you keep your voice up so the court reporter can hear. And are you Mr. Montes?
Yeah.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there applications in this case?
No.
All right, Mr. Montes, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montes, did you review the document entitled Court's Admonishments and Waivers with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of robbery? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Montes, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No contact.
No, anyone promised you anything other than what the plea bargain is? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There are no applications, and the state will take in consideration 2024 CR 2944. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
It offers State's Exhibit 1 with attachments.
No objection.
Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If that would be, we would like that, Judge. We would.
All right.
PSI.
So I find this all very interesting and strange. So he's on San Pedro and cars are driving and he tries to jump in a car that's driving by. And then I see that he's previously been referred for a competency report. What is his criminal history?
I don't recall that he's got this burglary charge, that he was out on bond on, Your
A
Honor.
burglary of a building.
Yeah, right. And, but as far as the competency evaluation, he was never found incompetent. So I requested an evaluation, because he did not recall much of what happened.
All right, what's going on with you? What's wrong with you?
Because I had got high on drugs, and then I felt like suicidal. So
What drugs have you been taking in the
Meth.
past?
Meth and weed and synthetic, and so I started feeling suicidal, and I started jumping into cars, and then that's when I ran into the lady, and I don't remember physically harming her, but she said I did, and so that's when I got locked up for her because they called the cops.
All right.
She called the cops.
When did you start using drugs?
When I was 13 years old.
All right, what's his criminal history?
He has a misdemeanor marijuana conviction and a reckless injury to a child misdemeanor conviction.
All right, so do y'all think, it appears, how old are you?
25.
All right, it appears to me, I have before me a 25-year-old who's using psychedelic synthetic drugs. I just find it strange that somebody's trying to jump in a car that's going on San Pedro. And if it's where I think it is on San Pedro, I don't think the speed limit is, 20 miles per hour. So do y'all think probation is inappropriate in this case, and maybe he needs to go into inpatient treatment? Because we can go off the record, depending on what drugs he's using, if he's huffing paint and then the synthetic stuff destroys your brain cells, it's prison, and he keeps smiling. I know it's involuntary.
No, because I didn't.
So anyway, just a second. So he keeps smiling and doing this and his eyes are very strange to me, the way they're focusing. So I don't know. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. This is y'all agreement. If y'all agree for him to go to prison, fine. But I don't know if this is a situation based upon what I've read in the police report and based upon what you all are telling me his history is. I don't know if prison is the place for him. Maybe the place for him is safety, followed by whatever to help him get past the brain cells that have been destroyed.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah,
if
so,
you want prison, I will send you to prison. If y'all want to renegotiate perhaps and have him take a different route, but either way, you're not leaving court today. If they decide to work out something different where you get probation, you're going into custody and you're going to safety to get your brain and your mind right. What I can tell you, I don't think there's anything, once brain cells have been destroyed, I think they're gone. You're just gonna have to compensate some kind of other way. You understand? So I just find it strange, the tattoos on the eyelids and the other tattoos, and then he's running along San Pedro trying to jump in a moving vehicle. So if you want the 6 years prison, I will give you 6 years in prison. If y'all want to renegotiate and see that maybe with his brain cells being destroyed, maybe probation, I'll give you probation. So y'all want to go discuss that?
yeah, sure, Judge.
All right,
And
thank you.
that's not really our way. Just,
Thank you.
really good.
All right, we're back on the record. Oh, was the court reporter there? All right, I can't see around the computer. We're back on the record in 2024 CR 5800 State versus Jason Montes. Could I have parties re-announced for the record for the state defense?
Ed Cano?
And you're Mr. Montes.
Yes.
All right, so the plea still stands. The only thing that has changed is he's applied for a deferred adjudication. And a part of the plea bargain agreement is that the state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 2944. And there's to be restitution, if any, to Nancy Boteo. Did you understand that to be the new plea? Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Judge.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
And outside the agreement, the state is asking that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 8 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service. There's to be no contact with Nancy Boteo in Club 12. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? And did you understand if I were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, I could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? All right, knowing that, do you wish to go forward with this plea as opposed to the 6 years in the prison?
I'd rather do 6 years in prison.
All right. Then he
Okay.
wants the 6 years in, you want the 6 years in the prison?
I do the prison.
All right, so he wants the 6 years in the prison. Okay,
Well, I do the probation for right now.
no. This is what's gonna end up happening, and I understand, and I'm having patience with you.
Okay.
We can go off the record. So I understand that synthetic drugs have done a little number on you. All right, so this is what I want you to understand. There are 2 choices you have here today, and there are only 2 choices. There's no third choice. And something is going to happen with your case today. Do you understand? Now, let me just tell you what your 2 choices are. First choice, you go to prison for 6 years. You understand?
Yeah.
Second choice, I give you probation and try to see if somebody can reprogram you and help you with the brain cells that you've destroyed from using drugs. So that would mean that maybe there's some mental health issues that are developed because of your use of drugs, right? And then get you help with using drugs. So those are your 2 choices, prison or probation.
I didn't do the probation.
Now, let me let you talk to your client just a little bit. And if you could work through the haze and the fog and make sure that he understands.
Yes, sir.
What about the probation?
All right, and that tattoo on the side of your head, does it say no cap? All right, is that like no cap, like I'm not accepting a cap of anything, or is that you don't wear a cap?
Set cap of it.
Okay, so it's a good thing your agreement wasn't a cap to anything because he's not accepting that. All right, we're gonna go back on the record. So this is what the court will do. Do you want the deferred adjudication or do you want prison?
Take the probation.
All right, so this is what the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm going to sentence him to 8 years deferred adjudication. Taking consideration 2024 CR 2944. There's to be no contact and restitution, if any, to Nancy Boteo. Do you have any children? How old are you?
25.
All right. Do you have any family support? Mom in your life, anybody in your life?
They're present, Judge, his mom and dad.
He needs a lot of help, okay? So what, he's gonna end up going to get evaluations at the jail. So once those evaluations are finished, is he welcome to stay with you all or no? All right, if you two could come up, please.
Mr. Montes, stand over here. You're back against it.
All right, I'm not gonna put you under oath. I don't think it's necessary. I'm just trying to get some information. All right, so has he ever had any type of mental health issues or anything else going on in his life?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, what issues?
A lot of drug use. A lot of, he talks to himself a lot from a very young age. He'll wander off for 3 or 4 days at a time. And a lot of drugs at a young age again. So
So let me ask you this. At your home, are there any people there who are underage?
No.
No.
All right, so if he were allowed to stay with you, who would all be in the home?
Just me.
Us- us
Just
two.
the parents.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Maybe that's-
and what is your name
Jason Montes.
and your name?
Rose Roman,
Rose?
Rose Roman or Roman?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so this is what I want to let you know what's going on here. I think there's some issues going on here, so instead of sending him to prison, we're gonna try to get him some help. Now, it's gonna take a while because evaluations take a while. So I'm gonna grant his application for deferred. He's gonna go back to the jail. At the jail, they're gonna interview him to see if he has any mental health issues. They're gonna interview him to see if he has any drug issues. They're also gonna interview him to try to determine maybe if the drug use, the synthetics, or whatever else he's doing has messed with brain chemistry and brain cells. So it's gonna take a while. Probation is here, and probation will take your numbers and everything so that you'll know what's going on at the jail. He's an adult, so you won't get a lot of information, but probation will come out to visit you at your home to make sure everything is going okay with him at your home. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any questions?
I don't, I mean, I don't know.
I have a question.
Sure.
When he's released to us, is there anything I could help him with, like report and things like that?
Yeah, you can. If you'll just make sure that probation has your information, and probation is going to give you the probation number. And with that number, if you have his name, his SID number or case number, you can call if there's an issue. In this court, I want people to be successful in probation. So if there's an issue where you see he's starting to fall off track, it's best to get in contact with his probation officer immediately so we can try to get him back on track. Otherwise, he's looking at 20 years in prison.
I would like to also add that, I hope they can help him with mental issues like you stated, because I've seen him numerous times have a full-blown conversation with himself
Okay.
and answering himself and crying and laughing, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I tried my best getting him all types of help. So,
All right, we're gonna see what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna set up some things for him, like the Center for Healthcare Services and all of that. Okay,
thank you, Judge.
all right, you're welcome. And Ms. Abrams, can you raise your hand? That's probation. She's the one who's gonna end up going over conditions with him, and she'll give you the number to probation so that you can call. But probation, once he's placed with you, probation is gonna come out to your house because I
Yes.
require them to do field visits.
Yes.
So just know that they're gonna be coming into your house to see how he's doing.
This one.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, it's gonna be 8 years deferred adjudication, take in consideration 2024 CR 2944. As previously stated, no contact and restitution, if any, to Nancy Forteo. He's to reside with, could y'all whisper in the box? He's to reside with Jason Montes and Rose Ramon upon release. We'll do a referral to felony drug court. That's to be in custody. TAP evaluation in custody. MIC eval in custody. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment or SSI within 45 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. And probation, that'll be probated. I think the main thing we need to make sure is that he has the mental health and the drug issues under control. Probation, is there anything else? All right, thank you. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Well, no, it's a no contact order with Mary Nancy Boteo. Did you all want a no contact order with Club 12, or you all want him to do Club 12? Or is the burglary of the building related to the Club 12?
That's the complainant.
Right.
Well, we'll do, whoa. See, because he may need to do 12-step program. What is the location of that building?
102 James Drive. James is Phames.
All right, there's to be no contact with 102 Thames Drive. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived, sign that, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. In this court, communication is key. I know there are a lot of issues going on with you, but you got to follow through. You understand? All right, thank you.
Attorney Bill Simmons for defense.
And are you Ms. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Excuse me, no talking behind the court reporter while we're on the record?
Yes,
And did you understand it?
yes,
Are you the same Marisa Bell who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 8626A for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on December 1st, 2022 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violation of condition number 4. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Marisa Bell, the then and there failed to report the supervision officer as directed for the month of June 2024 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
On the supplemental motion, violation of condition
Well,
number
just
6.
1 second. Court does not have a supplemental motion. Who has the supplemental motion? All right. Did you review the supplemental motion with your attorney? Did you understand that motion?
Yes, yes.
That's what we discussed. We won't push.
All right, did you review the supplemental motion?
Yes, Judge, we did review.
All right, you may proceed,
Thank you,
state.
Judge. Violation of condition number 16, on or about the 19th day of July, 2024, in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Marisa Bell, did then and there contact or attempt to contact Jacob Ziegler in person in violation of condition number 16.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Get away with the other allegations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 6, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 4 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation 4 and 16? I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. You
Your Honor,
understand that
just-
if,
Well, I'm sorry, Judge.
yes,
Just for the courts, if the court hasn't noticed, she is 7 months pregnant, so that's kind of what she's, well, she's here,
I'm here.
but just tired, I guess.
oh, well, I noticed, yeah, I noticed she's in yellow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you do understand if you have some sort of proposed agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow that agreement. Do you understand?
Me?
Yes, do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand I can revoke you and send you to prison for 4 years?
Yes, ma'am. I
Do you
understand.
understand that the fact that you're currently pregnant plays no role in that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So is there a proposed agreement?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
It's requesting revocation.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking the court to give, she has, we're asking the court to continue her on her probation. She does have some new cases that she was charged with in Comal County. However, she is on PR bond for those because they were not indicted in the proper amount of time. And also, without getting into the facts of those, but she was in the car with someone else. And it's my understanding in my conversations with her that they're making verification of that and that they may or may not be proceeding with that, Judge, but I do not want to represent to the court that I anticipate them being dismissed because I simply cannot say that at this time. Would that be accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but but we are asking the court to take, given that she did so well on the first year of this probation, if the court looks at her MTR, she didn't have any failed tests. She did successfully complete her her intensive outpatient treatment. She has that certificate. We verified that with probation. She's also expressed a willingness to me that she would like to possibly get some additional treatment. But given her condition, it's my understanding that at this time, she wouldn't be accepted into safety or one of those at this time. And so what we're asking the court at this time to do is to continue her and to possibly follow up with her sometime around February to see where they stand with the cases in Comal. She did plead true to not reporting in June, which is true. She did not report in June. But again, she kind of fell off the wagon and also made contact with the gentleman that she was ordered not to make contact with. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that kind of fell, but that also seems to have resulted in a pregnancy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're leaving ourselves to the mercy of the court, but she is a motivated probationer. She did fall off the wagon. Where she's been since May is in the Comal County Jail. There was a warrant put out by this court. They brought her over here. And so we're asking the court to give consideration to continuing her on her probation. In the absence of that, we would ask the court to consider adjudicating her and continuing on her probation.
All right.
But
Any
we are
objection-
leaving it to the court.
All right, any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
All right, do you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. So the court ordered that you have no contact with Jacob Ziegler. Why are you having contact with him?
He reached out to me.
I'm sorry, what?
He reached out to me and I shouldn't have done it, and I'm sorry.
No. There's no need to apologize. So he reached out to you and you knew you were looking at 4 years prison time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you did a weighing of you did a balancing test and you said, I can't have contact with Jacob Ziegler. And if I do, I'm looking at 4 years in prison, but he's worth it. And then according to the court summary, your brother-in-law is taking care, I guess your brother-in-law and his wife are taking care of 2 of your children. Is that correct?
My brother-in-law, no, it's my aunt.
Oh, okay. So your aunt is taking care of 2 of your children.
3, I have 3.
3?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have 3 children. You're not taking care of them.
Not but I have had them. I had them the whole time I was on probation.
But because it says here, on July 17th, the field team conducted a field visit and spoke to Miss Bell's brother-in-law, who stated they had not seen or heard from Miss Bell in over 2 months and had been trying to locate her with no success. Mrs. Bell's brother-in-law also stated that they had been caring for Mrs. Bell's 2 children since she left the home.
Hey, I'm confused on who my brother-in-law is.
Okay.
The name is there.
No, the name is not there. But suffice it to say, they've been looking for you for 2 months. So for 2 months, if your children were depending on you to provide them with food so they can live, they would have just starved to death.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. When I fell off, I called my aunt and I let her know. They've been taken care of.
You call your aunt and let her know, I'm going to go be with this Jacob person because he reached out to me.
No, I let her know that I messed up and that I did drugs and I was scared and that I didn't want to be around my children that way.
All right, so basically what that means is financially, you were not supporting your children. And if your children were dependent upon you to live, they would not have survived because you're not providing them support. You're just making all of these bad decisions and somebody else is paying for your bad decisions. They're supporting your children. Now you went off with this Jacob person that there was supposed to be no contact with. And the only thing that you've come back with is pregnant with his child. And for the court to say that you to have no contact with him, obviously he was not a good person to be in your life. All right. So the court is finding violations 4 and 6 true. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. And the court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Jacob Ziegler. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the appeal for me.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. I'll recommend the therapeutic community for her. I have no jurisdiction to place you in the therapeutic community, but if you ask for it, they will place you in it. Oh, just ask at the prison and let them know. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Everybody wants little babies when they're born because they're so cute. So you had better reach out to your family because Child Protective Services is going to come knocking at the prison. So unless you have someone, Yeah. all right, so you need to let your aunt know, and counsel if you can get in contact with her aunt, because time when that baby is delivered, she needs to have somebody there that's been pre-approved by Child Protective Services to take the child. All right, good luck to you.
Let me excuse your honor.
Yes. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 5927, State of Texas versus Daniel Guerrero. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones.
Defense?
Attorney Albert Osvaldo for Mr. Guerrero.
And are you Daniel Guerrero?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm sorry, did you review the true bill of indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Judge.
All right, what are you proceeding on?
State is going to proceed on the lesser included offense of criminal trespass for count 1, paragraph A. The state will waive paragraph B and count 2.
No objections, Your Honor.
Additionally, Judge, we did amend the indictment language to reflect the language for criminal trespass.
All right, any objections to the waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objection to the amendment of the indictment?
None, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Guerrero, do you understand that the state is asking to amend the indictment and that's a substantive change to the indictment? And that your counsel has 10 days to prepare for trial? Knowing that, do you still wish to proceed?
Yes.
And defense, you're waiving your 10 days notice?
I am waiving my 10 days, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Guerrero, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on criminal trespass as a Class A misdemeanor?
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1, paragraph A, the lesser included offense of criminal trespass. There's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
None, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be 40 hours of community service restitution. No harm for injurious contact with Daniel Morales, and anger management's in the TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. And state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have, Your Honor.
And what is their request with regards to contact?
They do want contact so that they could attend family functions together and not have that.
All right, thank you. Maybe excuse.
Thank you.
Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there would be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, I've been provided some character letters on behalf of Mr. Guerrero. If you mind reviewing some of these for him?
Sure. Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And just argument brief, Judge.
All right, court will hear argument.
Judge, just ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement. Since I've been hired to represent Mr. Guerrero,
All right, everyone whisper.
he's taken ownership and responsibility for this incident. He's very remorseful just from conversating with him. He owns a company or he's a partner with the company at Texas Sprinkler Pros. He's been doing that for 3 to 4 years. He's hoping to get his irrigation license. And this obviously could have had an adverse effect on it. So he's fortunate and he's asking you to follow that plea bargain agreement and show you that he can complete anything that you order, Judge. I don't think there's going to be any issues as far as following any terms of this probation, and you won't see him again.
All right, so I'm assuming you go over because you think that your stepsister is being abused.
Actually. I was thinking that they were having financial issues. That's the reason why I went.
No, that's not what it says, because how does I think they're having financial issues comes to you breaking into a home? And I know you all are just going on criminal trespass, but the police report is you broke into the home.
Yes, ma'am. So originally I went with the intent to see how they were doing with the financial situation, but then he mentioned to me that about the abuse situation. So he just mentioned that my parents had a message that implicated him with abusing her, and that's when I asked, is she okay?
No. The way this reads is per the caller, your stepsister says her brother stormed into their home and attacked her husband. So this is all before you go over there, as you say, and talk about they may be having financial issues. If somebody's having financial issues, I don't understand why there's a storm into their house unless, did they not have a phone for you to call?
No, I did attempt to call her, she didn't answer.
So how bad is a financial issue that you're calling somebody on the phone and they don't answer, so therefore you storm over to their house? Because that's what it says. It says, Daniel stated that his brother-in-law showed up uninvited, forced his way into the home after a verbal argument outside, physically assaulted him, and then choked him before leaving the scene. So nowhere in here does it say, oh, we're just talking about money. Nobody gets this upset over money unless somebody owes you money. And even then, I don't know why you're getting upset with that. When you lend money to relatives and friends, you need to realize that's a gift. And if they give it back to you, great. If they don't, they don't. So this is not about financial. It says you forced your way into the home. And it says that he was preparing to shut the door, but you prevented him from closing the door by placing your foot in the doorway. You must have been very angry with that because somebody slamming a door on your foot is painful. And it says you push your way inside the home without permission. Then y'all are rolling around on the ground fighting. And then your sister is there and has to call the police. So let's start again. So what happened? Like, why did you rush over to the house?
I'm the type of person that wants to be there for people I care about.
So are you still, let me just stop you there. Are you still sticking with this thing? I rushed over the house because I thought they had financial difficulties.
No,
All right, so why are you rushing over to the house?
to check on my sister,
All right, so who called you and said there was an issue with your sister?
my father or my dad.
All right, so he calls you and tells you what?
He tells me that they had went over previously, they couldn't see her. So he let me know that what's the issue with her, that she's not being healthy, that she had to go to the hospital, so kind of made me worry.
Why didn't you just pick up the phone and call the police and ask them to do a welfare check? You know they do that.
Yes, I wasn't thinking about that.
Do you have any children?
No.
Are you married?
Yes,
How would you feel if somebody comes barging into your house?
I completely understand. Yes, ma'am.
That's why you need to pick up the phone and have the police do a welfare check.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication, anger management. There's to be no contact with Daniel Morales until you complete the anger management course. There's to be $500 fine that'll be probated, 40 hours of community service restitution, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody follow recs. Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Probation, is there anything else?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off record. Here's the thing. When you're coming before me, you need to be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
Because let me just tell you what I was going to do. Because I was reading the report. I understand that emotions run high when you think maybe somebody's being physically abusive to your sister. I was going to give you the community service hours, and I was going to say complete anger management, and you don't have any community service hours to do. But you were dishonest. So this is part of your punishment. You're doing community service hours. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do have victim impact statement. The complainant did wish to be here, but could not, and so he did so me what he would like to say.
All right, we're off the record. You may proceed.
These series of actions robbed my family of peace within our home. It forced us to live on edge. It emotionally exhausted my then pregnant wife, and it almost cost the life of our son, due to the stress she was under. However, I believe that one mistake shouldn't define the rest of your life, but now it's up to you to not let this mistake define who you are. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse your.
Yes.
Thank you.